I can tell you a story of someone who probably had a saintly child and what they did. This I could tell you, but I don't know exactly what this is. There was a very orthodox family, Brahmin family in Andhra Pradesh, who the husband was such a scholar and such a deep study of Vedanta, and his daily rituals and meditation and so on. They were very young, it's a young couple, and the wife was a very nice lady. She looked after all her work and loved her husband, he loved her. But they didn't have for 3 years of married life any time to have a child. They were engaged in their own actions. So one day the wife confronted the husband and said, "You are so familiar with the Shastras. Now, according to the Shastras, a marriage is fully consummated only when you have a child. I don't think this will ever happen to us. So, is ours an incomplete marriage? Is ours an incomplete marriage? According to the Shastras." So, he said, I'm afraid of bringing out a child into this world who might turn out to be a terrible person, suppose. So why not? So the wife said, "Is there any solution for this?" He said, "Yes. You know that I love you very much. So I can offer a solution for this. I'm going to give you a mantra." Well, it so happened that it was Rama mantra, Taraka mantra, because they were devotees of the deity Rama. So he gave her the mantra. And he said, when you say I've really attained the realization of the mantra, it means that you chant the mantra so much that when you go to sleep, the last thing on your mind will be this mantra. And when you dream, you will be chanting also in your dreams. And when you wake up, this will be the first mantra that occurs to you, your mind. When you have attained that state, then perhaps if you have a child, then it might be a great yogi. Who knows? So he gave her the mantra. So she chanted the mantra. After 1 year, she said, "I think this is possible." Because it's always in my mind, the chanting. And when I go to sleep, that's the last thing in my mind. And when I dream, I see myself chanting it. And when I imagine the dedication. And when I wake up, this is the first mantra that occurs to me in my mind. This I think now I have attained. So he said, "Let's have a child." So with great affection, they had a child. And that child turned out to be the great yogi, Vedantin, devotee, Bhakta, Sadashiva Brahmendra. Sadashiva Brahmendra was a naked saint who used to walk around South India near Pudukkottai. He never spoke because at one time he had become such an expert in Vedantic discussions that he was sent to the Maharaja of Mysore's palace and became the Asthana Vidwan. That means the teacher in the court. And he used to defeat regularly anybody in arguments. He also studied the Nyaya Shastras, which is the science of discussions. And whenever he met a scholar, he would say, "Come, let's engage in a discussion and defeat them." So one person who had gone visiting the palace went back to meet his guru, this man's guru, Sadashiva Brahmendra's guru. He asked him, "How is my disciple? What's he doing these days?" He says he is doing very well. The only thing is his ego has become so big Because his only intention now is to defeat people in arguments. He's doing this all the time. So he said, go there, go back and send him here. So he went there and sent him back. So he came. He said, oh, so now your ego has grown so much. Your tongue wags constantly. He said, he realized, he said, yes. What should I do? I said, shut up. Don't talk ever. He stopped talking. He was a silent person. They say that he used to sit down and meditate on the banks of the river Kaveri in the south. And the Kaveri would flood, but he was in Samadhi, so he wouldn't know. After the floods have receded, when workers went to dig and take the shore apart, suddenly the spade would hit something and the blood would come and there's somebody here. They'll clean, take out the mud. It's a human being, pour some water. He used to get up and say, and go away. Such a great being was born. So maybe that's possible too, who knows? And Sadashiva Brahmendra wrote many beautiful lyrics for many of the so-called classical Carnatic songs, the most famous being Pibare Rama Rasa. Drink the rasa, the enjoying essence of Rama. And he passed away also. He sat down and said, I'm going. He said, no, spiritual suicide. He sat down and said, okay, bye. Enough. I was going to stop by saying, we have heard a nice story. Can we stop it here in peace?
Since you touched the song, can you sing that?
I can sing. You can find it on YouTube. So, it's good to read the lives of some of these great people. They inspire you to move forward.